This is evening of Thursday, the 5th day of February 2026. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. Yesterday, Nnamdi Kanu appeals against terrorism conviction seeks acquittal from all charges. And just within 24 hours, the defense headquarters is now confirming for the very first time, let me say in a decade, all this insecurity that has been going on, they don't accept that it is Islamization. Okay, they don't accept it. This is the first time defense headquarters of Nigeria is accepting that what happened in Kwara State is Islamization. But this is what we have been telling you right from time, that these are extremist ideology. Right from 2012, when Boko Haram said Christians should leave the north, they started killing. Every now and then, Iswap will be saying that Christians will pay with their blood, and so on and so forth. If we come out to say something like this, people who think they know more than everyone will come out to convince people not to take it serious. Like, these people are bringing out something out of nothing. That is what they normally say. I remember speaking with one of House of Rep member. Because of the respect I have for him, I will not mention his name so that people will not be, cursing him or accusing him. But I know he will watch this video and he knows himself. So he was telling me that, Okocha, I understand what you are saying, but it's not serious like the way you are putting it. It seems you are bringing out, something out of nothing. But today now, he have changed, his confession. Today now, he understands that, yes, that many people are on a death row, if not everybody in Nigeria. So these are the issues we are talking about. I remember that very day, Justice James Omotosho was reading the conviction of Nnamdi Kanu, which I regard as illegal conviction of Nnamdi Kanu. So when he was reading the conviction of Nnamdi Kanu, I was painfully listening to him at a point where he said Nnamdi Kanu was doing broadcast and he said that the Fulanis who are invading their place are Janjaweed, who are from Mandi, Senegambia. This was what Omotosho was reading. He said that Nnamdi Kanu, by those statements, are trying to bring division. Do you understand? That he was trying to bring division, that anybody who wants to bring division in Nigeria should ask the National Assembly to put referendum in a constitution. That there is nothing like that in Nigeria. And today now, the defense headquarters is admitting that this is Islamization. The defense headquarters said yes, that the people who were killed rejected Sharia. They rejected the extremist ideology. That is the reason why they were killed. But let me shock you. The intel, everything, people who supplied and gone, everything that happened in Kwara State happened by the government, from the government, and the government knows everything that is going on in Nigeria. Don't forget that is the same Kwara State. They were kidnapping people from church, killing people from church. Now, people that kidnap people from church, they are the same people who carried out this massacre. Don't forget that the governor went to the bush, he spoke with them, he knows them, he rapport with them, they now gave him those people without arresting them, without doing anything against them. See, this is 2026, guys. Like, they can deceive you people. They can deceive many people, not me. Okay? You can't come and deceive me. The government want to fight insecurity. The government condemned. The government are not condemning anything. You can't condemn what you are not seeing. The government are not saying all these things. You can't condemn what you are not saying. That is propaganda. Okay? They come out to deceive people. By the way, principles of deception is part of this war that is going on. For the first time in history, Nigeria is accepting that there is Islamization. But, you read news, but you don't understand what is in the news. That is what the defense headquarters said. They admitted that these people were killed because they refused to accept the Sharia. The extremists were preaching to them. This is funny, but, a lot of people came. They preach this same message to you. Nigeria cannot work. They kill the people they were able to kill. They jail the people they were able to jail. And let me let you know one thing. According to Nnamdi, right, he said you can kill the prophets, but you cannot stop the message. You can kill the prophets, but you cannot stop the message. So whoever that comes out to tell you the simple truth and one and only solution to all these things, which is partitioning, divide Nigeria into 6. Or into how many you want to do it. Divide Nigeria, let everybody go and solve their problem. Nobody is better than anyone, no problem. Let us go and solve our problem. If we all have problems, let us go and solve it. But using your own religion to kill people is unacceptable. They use Sharia to lock people shop in Abuja. Someone was preaching in the morning in Abuja, in Nnamdi. She was beheaded for preaching in the morning in Abuja. Deborah was killed, burned to death, because they said she's trying to tell them not to post religious thing in WhatsApp group, just like that. Nnamdi was also killed and burned to death because they accused her of throwing a bag outside that there is Quran inside. And at the end, they were unable to, bring out the Quran from the bag. Definitely there is no Quran, but they burned her to death. These are Christians dying for nothing. My friend entered a hotel with his girlfriend. Now they are married. That time in Kanu, they detained him for 5 days. These are his bad on this. How do we come to this extent? And someone is trying to let you know that maybe one way or the other. And secondly, we were discussing yesterday about the issue of private security. Someone called me. He said, Okocha, I have been seeing people who are pushing for this private security something. And what do you think? I think it is going to help. I said in a normal country, private security is a very big game changer. I started making the person to understand that we have private securities working in Nigeria. Foreign private security from Turkey, from this, from that. I said, what difference does it make? Asari Dokubo, government used to contract him to do some jobs, whether dirty jobs and everything. It's a private security. I told him, it won't change. I said, these people may be pushing this because they believe that when they do this, I think they feel that this is necessary. If they do it, they can make money or something else. That is what I think of, because anybody who is talking about private security should first of all ask the question. The problem you want to use private security to solve, what is the problem? Define the problem first. Define the problem, because someone who is sponsoring the terrorists are above you. They are above you. First of all, define the problem. Private security can work in Ghana. It can work in South Africa. These are places where Christians are 80%, 90%, okay? Private security can work in Niger Republic. In Niger Republic, they have majority Muslims. It can work. But in a country like Nigeria, where the politicians are pushing for Islamization agenda, you want private security to go and kill the bandits that always storm military bases, behead soldiers. Like, you are kidding me. You don't even know the problem before you talk about solution. So, what am I trying to say? Nnamdi Kanu has filed appeal. He wants to appeal against illegal conviction from Justice James Omotosho. And the issue here is this. The reason why they were so brutal with Nnamdi Kanu, they spent billions of naira on media. Billions of naira was spent on media just to let people know that Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. They paid media organizations. We have the proof that media houses were paid just to tarnish the image of Nnamdi Kanu. But that is not only the issue. The government, they were doing everything necessary just to make sure they remove this man. And they believe that once Nnamdi Kanu is not here, the issue of divide Nigeria will reduce. Because if you divide Nigeria, the Islamization agenda is no. Once you divide Nigeria, where are they going to conquer again? If what comes to wars, maybe Christians from those areas will just relocate. This was what they were telling in Lebanon. They told Turkey this. They told Egypt this that time. Make sure you divide. Divide so that you can secure your belief, your peace, your integrity, everything. And if people who want to practice Sharia to practice, according to the history, they were refusing and thinking the way many Nigerians are thinking today. Today, Egypt, Lebanon, Turkey, all of them are Islamic countries today. It's a pity because they refuse to listen. And today, the same thing we are telling Nigerians, but they refuse to listen. Many people refuse to listen, but, they will listen. I'm sorry to say this. They will listen with pain at the end if they did not listen now. Because what is going on now, these people already on rampage. If you see the strategies of these people, where they are going to attack tomorrow, next tomorrow, these people are not backing down, okay? I just, pray that waiting the period of 7 days that US want to strategize before they will start action, that US should swing into action to make sure they will be able to do one or two. And when they see that the thing is not ending, then they will move to the full option of dividing Nigeria. Who Nigeria help? Who is Nigeria helping anybody at this moment? What is your hope? People are every day. People are just dying. It's a pity, It's a pity. I just hope that this issue of Nnamdi Kanu's detention, I know something is going to happen that will make Nnamdi Kanu to come out there. Because as it stands now, the reason why they are holding Nnamdi Kanu, if they see that Nnamdi Kanu is no longer the problem that is saying Nigeria should divide, then something will happen to release him. Both the people who are not being announced, definitely they are going to release Nnamdi Kanu. But the reason why they are holding him there in Sokoto is because the people who want to Islamize Nigeria, who don't want Nigeria to remain secular state, they are against the ideology of Nnamdi Kanu. And that is why they just convict him and send him to Sokoto, which means that, yes, you are now under us. You are now under us, and in your present, we are going to Islamize this country, and you will be here under us. Maybe you will become our slave. But little did they know that, game is going to change. Game is going to change. Just within a little swift, Trump started saying that it cannot happen. Islamization cannot happen. This is a global problem. So the America will not keep quiet. Israel will not keep quiet. This is interest. They will not keep quiet to allow this thing to happen. I don't care to know whether you hate them or you love them, but they can't keep quiet to allow this Islamization to happen. Nnamdi Kanu has been vindicated, okay? Nnamdi Kanu has been vindicated for defense headquarters to accept that this is Islamization. I tell you, he has been vindicated. Let me know what you think about this. Do you still believe that Nigeria is better remaining like this? Why people die? People who are Islamizing Nigeria is going with full speed? Or do you believe that this country should be divided in peace, just like Yugoslavia, just like India and Pakistan, and so many other countries who are living in peace? I'm Okochapi myself, talking reality out of issues.
Well, you see, people don't know what Sharia is all about. First of all, Sharia is the principles and practice of Islam. You can't separate Sharia from Islam. They are one and one. So any Muslim who tells you that he doesn't want to live his life according to Sharia, then he's not a Muslim.
Do you think Nigeria should become a Sharia nation?
That is my ambition, and that is the ambition of every Muslim in this country.
So as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia. So as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia.
Item 62 says National Assembly shall not make any law that affects Islamic law. This second schedule. So this amendment is against second schedule, item 60.
Well, you see, people don't know what Sharia is all about. First of all, Sharia is the principles and practice of Islam. You can't separate Sharia from Islam. They are one and one. So any Muslim who tells you that he doesn't want to live his life according to Sharia, then he's not a Muslim, because he doesn't even know what is Islam. If you are a Muslim, you have to live your life according to the dictates of Sharia. From the time you are born up to the time you will marry, the relationship between you and your parents when you are small, your responsibility to them or their responsibility to you, the relationship between you and your wife, if you marry, how you will marry, your responsibility to your wife, then your responsibility to the neighbors, to the entire society, is all defined under Islam, under Sharia. That is what is called Sharia. It is not just the capital punishment that people are talking about. This is just part of one aspect of Sharia. The major aspect of Sharia is called mu'amala. That is how you relate to human beings, other human, even animals. There are ways we have to cut and kill our animals. There are ways you enter toilet. There is way you come out of toilet. So everything in Islam is defined under Sharia. So it's a code of life for Muslims. So as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia.